going on, Blazers? My name is John Gasm, and in honor of Back to the Future Day last week, today I'm sharing with you guys a tremendous list of Back to the Future trivia. I have 41 facts coming your guys' way, so I want to get started ASAP, but just before I do, I wanted to let you all know that today's video is brought to you by Loot Crate. If you haven't heard, Loot Crate is a monthly subscription service that sends out a box of nerdy goodness every single month. For the month of October, subscribers were given some pretty awesome Back to the Future gear, including this adorable little vinyl figure of Doc Brown and this miniature hoverboard. If a membership is of interest to you, I've got a link to their site in the description down below. That's lootcrate.com/JohnGasm. And if a membership at the already low price of $11.95 is still too expensive for you, I've got an exclusive discount code where you can get an additional 10% off your membership. Just enter code JohnGasm at checkout. And now, my friends, we move on to the facts. Did you know that the script for Back to the Future was rejected 40 times before it was finally greenlit, and that it was the highest grossing movie of 1985? Inspiration for the movie largely stems from one of the writers, Bob Gale, discovering his father's old high school yearbook in the attic. When looking at his dad's pictures, he wondered if he would be friends with his dad if he was around during that time. Despite literally everybody wanting Michael J. Fox to play the role of Marty McFly, the part was given to Eric Stoltz because of contractual obligations that Fox had with Family Ties. They filmed 4 weeks with Stoltz before finally deciding that he wasn't right for the part. As we all know, Michael J. Fox was able to accept the role, lucky for us, but it was under the condition that he kept his full schedule for filming the TV show. This means no write-outs and no missing episodes were allowed. Also, it meant filming most of Back to the Future at night. All of the daytime scenes were shot during the weekend. There's a myth that claims that Michael J. Fox had to learn how to skateboard for the role in the movie, but as it turns out, he was actually a pretty awesome skateboarder back in high school. Apparently, Fox had more in common with Marty than just skateboarding, though. He said that Marty's chasing girls and having dreams of becoming a rock star was similar to how he acted in high school. You see, right from the start, Fox was perfect for the role. As it turns out, Stoltz really didn't get along with people on the set of the movie anyway, so that's just another reason why he needed to be replaced. In the scene where Marty and Biff fight in the cafeteria, Thomas F. Wilson, who plays Biff, almost had his collarbone broken. Despite Tom requesting multiple times that Stoltz turn down the aggression, apparently he was pretty rough on him when recording that scene. Tom actually planned on kicking Eric's ass for real when filming the car scene at the end of the movie, but lucky for Stoltz, he was gone before they got to it. Tom Wilson also improvised 2 of Biff's most iconic lines, "Butthead" and "Make like a tree" and "Get out of here." Apparently, every time Wilson is asked about Back to the Future by enthusiastic fans, he just gives them a card with frequently asked questions on it to save them time. Despite all of Stoltz's scenes being reshot after Michael J. Fox was recasted, there is 1 or 2 clips in the movie where Stoltz's image remains. The clip that shows Biff getting punched in the face actually uses Eric's hand. Apparently, Ronald Reagan was actually amused at the fact that Doc Brown didn't believe that an actor like him could become president. He actually liked it so much that he requested the projectionist rewind the movie so he could rewatch the scene. He actually liked the movie enough to use a line from it in his 1986 State of the Union address, saying, "Where we're going, we don't need roads." It's good that Reagan enjoyed the jokes, but apparently the parts of the script that made fun of the president had to be sent over to the White House for approval so they didn't offend him. Although Doc Brown is seen as an adult in 1955, Christopher Lloyd, who plays Doc Brown, was actually an 18-year-old high school senior during that year. So actually, he would have fit in perfectly with Marty's parents. Back to the Future is banned in China because apparently the notion of time travel disrespects history. Now I've got a few DeLorean facts coming your way. This is the first Hollywood movie to feature the DeLorean DMC-12. Apparently, Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis received a fan letter from John DeLorean thanking them for using his car in the movie. The DeLorean was specifically selected because of its general appearance and its gull-wing doors. They wanted it to be able to pass as an alien spacecraft in 1955. The production of Back to the Future ultimately used 3 different DeLoreans. After the movie premiered, real body kits were being made so people could make their real-life DeLoreans look like time machines. The DeLorean Time Machine is actually a licensed vehicle in the state of California. Although the license plate in the movie says "out of time," the real license plate doesn't say anything cool at all. According to writer Bob Gale, on October 26th, 1985, a group of people gathered around the mall that was used to shoot the Twin Pine Mall scenes to see if Marty McFly would actually emerge out of nowhere in a DeLorean. Obviously, he didn't. I was disappointed in Back to the Future 2 when the actress who played Marty McFly's girlfriend in the first one was replaced with a different, less hot actress, but apparently the reason the original actress left was to take care of her mother who was diagnosed with cancer, so I guess you could say that's respectable. There's a sticker on the back of Doc's truck that says, "One nuclear bomb can ruin your whole day." Doc Brown's distinctive hunched over look actually came to be when the filmmakers realized the huge height difference between Christopher Lloyd and Michael J. Fox. Fox is 5'4.5" and Christopher Lloyd is 6'1". To further compensate for the height difference, Lloyd and Fox recorded some of their scenes standing far apart and at different camera depths. So similar to the way that they filmed some of the scenes in Lord of the Rings that featured the hobbits. It took 3 hours in makeup to turn the 23-year-old beautiful Leah Thompson into the 47-year-old Lorraine. When Robert Zemeckis was trying to sell the idea for this film, one of the studios that he approached was Disney. They rejected it though, saying that a mother falling in love with her son was too risque for the type of films that they normally produced. Other studios rejected it because it wasn't risque enough compared to the other teen movies that were coming out during that time. Michael J. Fox is only 10 days younger than Leah Thompson, who plays his mother, and 3 years older than Crispin Glover, who plays his father. There are only about 32 special effects shots in this entire film. If you think that sounds like a lot, try to imagine how many special effects shots are used in sci-fi movies nowadays. The house used for Doc Brown's home is the Gamble House at 4 Westmoreland Avenue, Pasadena, California. It was home of the Gamble family until 1966 when it was turned over to the University of Southern California. Now it's a historical museum. In the French translation of the movie, Marty McFly is called Pierre Cardin in 1955, and in the Spanish translation he's called Levi Strauss. The backlot used as the town of Hill Valley is also seen in the first episode of The Twilight Zone. In the opening sequence, when there is a camera panning around at all of the clocks in Doc Brown's house, there is one shown that has a man hanging off the hands of the clock. This actually foreshadows the climax of the movie where Doc Brown finds himself in that exact situation. Hill Valley High School's official colors are gold and red, and their mascot is the Bulldog. In the Save the Clock Tower scene behind Marty McFly, you can see a dirty movie theater showing the movie Orgy American Style. That theater and a tramp on the bench are two of the things that Marty looks at when he gets back from 1955 before saying everything looks great. The cliffhanger ending of the movie was not originally intended to be a sequel, but instead just one last joke. The writers actually said that if they intended on making a sequel, they wouldn't have had Jennifer get in the car with Marty and Doc Brown. That's why in the beginning of Back to the Future 2, they just knock her unconscious. And lastly, you guys, my favorite fact. All of the rights to Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3 are owned by Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis. In an interview this year, Zemeckis said there is no way that a remake or a reboot of the films will be allowed while him and Gale are still alive. And that, you guys, makes me so happy because these movies are 1980s classics and they don't need to be ruined with CGI and blue screen and all of that other junk. Like I said, there are only 32 special effects shots in this movie, and I have a feeling that if it was remade, they would have about 11 billion. That being said, that was all 41 facts that I had to share with you today. I hope you enjoyed them. If you did, make sure you hit that rate button with a big fat thumbs up so I know you did. If you thought these facts were interesting and you know somebody else who will find them interesting too, you can hit that share button down below. Share this video on Facebook or Twitter. It's pretty easy to do and that helps the channel out a whole lot. I got links to my social media accounts down below. That's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Go give those a like or follow if you're feeling like being a super fan. Make sure you come back to this channel Thursday because not only are we going to talk about Back to the Future even more, I'm also going to be debuting a new series, and I know you guys are going to enjoy this one. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, but make like a tree and get out of here. Blaze for life.